Hey everyone, this is Yogi Wade back with another yoga practice video. This one's for all you yogis out there who are missing some of that challenge from being in a class with a teacher who's going to be able to push you just to that right limit for you to be able to grow. I'm hoping to find that challenge in the practice today, and it's important to know that you know where your challenge should be. And you don't go too much beyond that. I'm going to do this at about a level 2 practice. We're going to jump right into our sun salutation Bs, not wasting any time. Lifting tall and folding, finding the height of our shoulders and our chair pose. Maybe you can keep the hands separated at first as you lift up through the top of your head and bow a little bit, lengthening the spine, giving our hips a little bounce. And we'll fold forwards, finding our way back into our plank pose. Finding our mountain pose and our plank pose with a long side body, squeezing the hands and feet together, and lower them down. Finding our cobra. And back to our upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. We're going to pedal out the feet. Left foot plants flat. The right foot comes out behind you. We're going to step that right foot forwards. Finding warrior 1 pose. Really finding our form with everything square and everything pulling in the warrior 1. Folding down, we'll take another chaturanga. I'm kind of gonna push through these sun salutations a little bit quickly. I'm gonna lead through 2 of them. I recommend you pause and do an additional 3 if you're in for the challenge. 5 sun salutation Bs seems like a good number most of the time. So from our downward facing dog, we're squeezing our hands together over our head as we look at the belly button. Find our stability. Step, float, or hop to the top of the mat. Find the height of the shoulders, bend the knees, finding chair pose. Maybe our half chairs, we bow a little bit deeper, bouncing the hips, hands to our heart. We'll stand tall. I'm going to add a few modifications just to really warm us up from our sun so we can get right into the arm balance practice of the day. Bend the knees. Find our chair pose, hands overhead. Bring those hands to the heart. We'll add our chair twists, maybe keeping the elbow an inch above the leg as you use the side body and the core to twist, coming back up to center, and we exhale off to the right. Feeling the side body really engaged to lift the heart, and coming back to center, bouncing our hips, hold our hands overhead, and bow a little bit deeper. We'll bring our hands down to the mat, maybe find your momentary crow pose before shooting back. Any way that you need to get to our plank. Lower and down, chaturanga. Finding our cobra. Lifting into up dog. And pushing back for our downward facing dog. Paddling out the feet. When the left foot is flat, the right foot raises. We're going to bring the right knee to the right elbow. Lifting it up, 3-legged plank. Maybe a bonus chaturanga. And pushing that right foot out behind it. Lifting it as high as you can. Right foot comes to the left elbow, finding the twist. Bonus chaturanga. And we push that foot back out behind us. The right foot comes in the chest. You can hold it here. Maybe lift the back foot too. And we'll step them both back and find our warrior 1 pose. Squeezing those feet together. Everything pulling into the core. Knee bends just over the heel. Maybe this is a little wider than your previous stance. That's good. Breathing here. Let's bind our hands behind our back. At the bind, open up those shoulders. And bow. Really putting that weight in that outside of the back foot, pulling in. Feeling your strength, feeling yourself cultivate this energy within. Let's rise back up. Bring our hands overhead and down to frame the foot. Step that right foot back. Very intentional chaturanga here. Feeling how it feels to hover an inch above the mat. We'll find our cobra. And push back into our downward facing dog. Paddling up the feet. Right foot comes flat, the left foot lifts out behind us. Left knee to the left, shoulder. Hover here, bonus chaturanga. Right foot comes back, left foot comes back out behind us. Then it comes to the right arm, that side body. Bonus chaturanga. Keeping that weight as much on the hands as you can. And we'll lift that left foot back out behind us. And we'll tuck it into our chin. Lift everything up. Put everything into the arms. And setting it down. Come up into our warrior one pose. Taking a moment here. Noticing how good it feels just to breathe. To feel that oxygen flowing into the lungs. We'll come down. Bind the hands behind the back. And fold. Squeezing our feet together and squaring the shoulders and hips to the front as you try to bring your leg into your side body. Opening the heart. And releasing the hands. Coming up into our warrior one and down to bow forwards. Left foot steps back. Chaturanga, make it count, very slow. Squeezing the mat between your feet and your hands. Take 3 breaths and hover an inch above the mat. And we'll pull our heart through, finding our cobra or an upward facing dog, pulling the heart forwards and up. Then we'll push back into our down dog. Engaging those shoulder blades onto the mid-back. As you lift the tailbone as high as you can, feel the hands squeezing together, our weight into our fingertips and our knuckles, bend the knees, step, hop, float, or jump. Finding our way into our chair pose. Balancing the knees, maybe a half chair, getting ourselves a little bit deeper. Hands come to the heart. Left elbow over to the right. Open it up. Feel the heart release to the ceiling. Feel your full wingspan. Hands come back to our heart. Back to center. Bounce the hips. Right elbow comes to the left. Open the heart. Open the full wingspan. Breathe into that left kidney as it appears. And bring our hands back to our heart. And back to center, bouncing the hips. Let's fold forwards, releasing, release the neck, release the tension in the jaw. Maybe bring our arms to cross and our neck to dangle. Swing it to the right and to the left. Hands back to the mat. Let's rise up. Hands to our heart. We're going to take a little windmill, loosen it up for a moment. So the hand pats the shoulder as the lower hand pats the side body and the hip. And you just give yourself a little playful swing to release anything in the back and shoulders. You deserve a pat on the back, especially if you've done the bonus chaturangas and bonus sun salutation warm-ups. Let's come back to center. Hands to our heart, standing tall. Hands overhead, finding a chair pose. Bending the knees. Hands to the heart. Right elbow comes over to the left. Both hands down to the mat. We're going to play with our side crow. So see if you can raise the left foot up, and then maybe the right foot up. And set them back down. Find your balance so that your teeter-totter, your weight is as much onto the right hand as you have weight in your feet. Maybe straightening the legs and pointing the toes. Once you get there, trying to straighten the arms. Let's set ourselves back down into our chair pose, lifting up, bouncing the hips. Hands to our heart. We'll try the other side. Right elbow comes over to the left. Using that arm as a little bit of a shelf. We can take the right foot up and then the left foot up. Testing our balance, finding how far forwards we need to be. Keeping our weight onto the fingertips and the knuckles. As we point the toes and straighten the legs. Holding here, any form of this pose that works for you. Bending the knees, we'll sit ourselves back down into our chair. Lift our hands overhead, squeezing the hands together over our heads. Hands come down to frame the feet. We'll lift back into our crow, taking a moment here and jump back as slowly as possible. Finding our plank pose. Feeling plank, pulling those fingers all the way down to the toes and the toes to the fingers. We're going to lower down all the way to our bellies. Palms come to our sides. We can open the heart. Look up. Maybe bind the fingers behind our backs. Lift the toes. Lift the heels. Lift the core. Bring your arms out to the side into an airplane. Lifting the heart as high as you can. Hands overhead. We'll bring our hands back beneath our shoulders. Pushing ourselves up into our cobra. And let's take a child's pose for a moment. Bringing our hips between the heels. Letting ourselves catch the breathing, catch the breath, feel how good it feels to breathe. Lengthening the spine as we move the fingers as far forwards as we can. We're going to walk our hands back just above our knees. Bring the knees together, bring the heels together. You can come up onto your toes, tuck yourself into this tight little ball as you bring your hands to the outsides of the shins. Give yourself a little asana push-up. And maybe take the back toes up off the mat if you can put as much weight forwards in front of the fingers. And find a way to jump it through. From here, we have a Dandasana pose. We lift up as high as we can, lengthening the spine and folding forwards. Releasing the lower back as we bow. Coming back up to center. Let's take a boat pose here for a moment. Finding a flat back. Lifting our feet and our toes. Reaching our hands out. Feeling the core engage. Maybe lowering the back a little bit closer to the mat. Keeping it lifted though. And bring the heels into the glute. And pick yourself up. Little bump up. And we'll find our boat pose again. And we'll pick it up number 2. Finding the boat. Bump up. Boat pose. Lift. Boat pose. Lift. This is number 5. We're halfway there. Boat pose. Feeling the core really fire up, starting to become solid and strong. Finding our boat. Feeling the lower core open up there.
and the upper core as you bump up. I think that's number 7. Bump it up. Bump it up. Feeling everything engaged, sticking with it. Feeling how good it feels to be alive. Bump up. One more boat pose. One more bump up. Crossing the ankles. And we'll punch it through. Find your downward facing dog. You can take a bonus chaturanga. That up dog, the cobra, feels great to release the core after that. Leading me back in the downward facing dog. Paddling out those feet. Lifting the tailbone. Weight into the hands. Maybe your hands are on blocks, that might give you a little more height to see if you can jump through. This time, the right heel comes in. You grab the outside of the left foot. The right hand comes behind us and above us. We find the side body stretch, looking underneath the armpit. Breathing here. Coming back up. We'll flip our feet. Left heel into the hip. Right hand grabs the outside of the right foot. Left hand comes behind us and then above us. And then it reaches for those toes. Maybe it's up here, that's fine. You're looking underneath the armpit. Trying to keep the chest perpendicular to the mat. And we'll come back to center. Bring our feet into a little butterfly. Take this moment to release anything that's left in the hips. Feeling those hips really open up as we bow in our butterfly. Maybe opening the feet like a book so that all 10 toenails touch the mat. We'll come back to center. We're going to bring the left foot out long. The right heel comes outside the left hip. And you grab that outside of that left. You grab the inside of the left foot, big toe side. And you put your weight onto the right foot and your weight onto your left hand. And you keep them about chaturanga distance apart. And we're going to lift it into our grasshopper pose. So from the other side, so you can see, it's going to look like this. Heel comes to the hip, hand reaches in front of the leg, the shin. Our left foot and right hand are about chaturanga distance apart, about a chest length apart. And you put the weight into that foot and into that hand, and you lift everything up. Feel how that feels. Sitting it back down. Taking this moment. Let's find our seated meditation posture. Find that sensation of breath, of being alive, feeling what it feels like to have the blood pumping through you. Noticing every moment is completely unique. Every inch of the skin is a sensation of being alive. Noticing the fire within us. Feeling how strong it can burn if we will it. And cultivating this energy with us through the rest of our day, the rest of our practice. The love and light in me honors the love and light in each of you. Namaste.